So Audrey Hostel actually bought a car for 90,000 on the 1st July 2005. Okay, so we first draw a timeline to actually show all these information. So if you were to look at 1st July 2005, okay, they actually bought a motor vehicle costing 90,000, useful life of 10 years, scrap value of 10,000, and or the straight line, and they use actually the straight line method for year one. Okay, so take note that their financial year end is actually 30th June 2005. Okay, so in between there's actually from 2005 going to 2006 there's a 31st December. Okay, but this is the calendar year end, not the accounting year end, so we do not care about it. We only care when we move into 30th June 2006, which is their financial year end. Okay, so on this financial year end, what we need to do is actually we need to calculate the depreciation and transferring it to profit and loss. So how do we calculate the depreciation? Okay, if I were to direct you to how you calculate depreciation expense, we actually have this formula of cost minus scrap value divided by useful life. Okay, so since they tell you that cost is 90,000, the scrap value is 10,000, the useful life is 10 years, okay, you will get $8,000 per year, okay, for this motor vehicle one. Okay, and what you actually need to do is that this is for year end, but on every first day of the accounting year, you actually need to find a balance BD for your accumulated depreciation. Okay, later we will work on that. Okay, so for now, we're actually quite done with the first year already, the analysis of the question for the first year. Okay, we look into year 2 now. Okay, for year 2, it's very special. Okay, because in this year 2, they actually bought a motor vehicle, okay, on 1st March 2007. Okay, so you have to actually write down the information here by saying bought motor vehicle 2 costing 48,000, the useful life of 8 years, scrap value 30,000, and they also use straight line method. Okay, how do we actually account for this? Okay, we actually account for this by actually having accounting for the motor vehicle on 1st March, and remember on 30th June 2007 we will have to count its depreciation. Okay, so how to count its depreciation is we have to actually prorate it. Okay, how many months? Okay, from 1st March to actually 30th June 2007, it's March, April, May, June, which is 4 months. Okay, and there's no policy saying that there's a full year depreciation, so therefore need to prorate. Okay, so how do we actually calculate the depreciation at 30th June 2007? Okay, how we actually do it is we actually use back the formula. Okay, and it's actually 48,000 minus 3,000. Okay, minus 3,000 3,000 scrap value, divide by the useful life of 8 years. And because we actually calculate the 4 months, we have to prorate it by 4 over 12. Okay, this is how you actually find the depreciation for the motor vehicle 2. But don't forget that we still have a motor vehicle 1. Okay, the motor vehicle 1 is actually, remember we calculated earlier, 8,000. Okay, so adding them up for year 2, the total depreciation is actually 9,875. Okay, so now this is for year 2. Now we move into year 3. Okay, so for year 3, the accounting year is actually 1st July 2007 to 30th June 2008. Okay, so for this period of time, we actually need to calculate the depreciation expense as well. So how do we actually calculate the depreciation expense? We found earlier that the first motor vehicle, the depreciation is always 8,000. How about the second vehicle? Okay, if we don't have to prorate it because it's for the whole year depreciation, you will actually get 5,625. Okay, the cost being 48,000, the scrap value being 3,000 divided by the useful life of 8 years. Okay, will give you 5,625. So if you add them up, the total depreciation for year 3 is actually $13,625. Okay, so actually this kind of timeline is very useful for analysis of question, so that you know and you won't miss out any step in between. Okay, so in the next video, we will actually show you how all these different workings will go into the journal entries and how these journal entries will map into our accounts.